welcome back to American Agenda. I'm Heather Childers along with Bob Sellers. So if you're white and you're male and you're not a veteran, apparently too bad. You will be last in line for federal aid under the Biden administration's Restaurant and Revitalization Fund, prioritizing minority and minority and female-owned businesses first. Well, this comes, of course, as businesses are still struggling to reopen in this post-COVID economy, applying for federal aid to help alleviate their revenue losses. Some say that the traditional policies of affirmative action we just heard Melanie talking about have been flipped on their head, and now whites are being targeted for discrimination. So, Melanie, since you brought it up, let's continue the conversation here when it comes to the Biden administration. You know, not only is it the restaurant fund that is prioritizing people based on the color of their skin and their sex, we also talked about yesterday funds available to farmers who will consider the color of their skin first and foremost, and white farmers aren't even allowed to apply for the funds.
This is absolutely crazy, and I'm no constitutional scholar, but this seems like highly unconstitutional and illegal. Like, what are they doing? I don't understand. As I've read the background on this, I thought to myself, they are so getting sued. Totally getting sued. And the farmers are already suing, is my understanding, as they should be. And business owners should be suing over this as well. This is completely ridiculous.
And here's the thing. Not only will it impact the business owners, and they're saying, you know, based on the color of their skin, they will or will not be able to be, you know, first in line or be able to apply for it. But when it comes to their employees, Bob, their employees are going to be employees of every color. So that's who ultimately is going to be impacted by this. And there were 2.3, I think, million restaurant and bar jobs that were lost because of COVID.
Exactly what I was going to say. With this, there was a lot of misery to go around. And different parts of the country may be hit worse than others. Maybe they could have handled it better. But whoever was hit through no fault of their own, I don't think COVID was looking at their color. I don't think that what happened to them economically was based on their color. So when they apply for help, I don't think it should be based on their race. I think it should be based on their need. And if it hit an African-American community worse than a white community, you're going to get more people of color applying. Yeah. But whoever was hit should qualify.
But it seems how that this administration, the Biden administration, at every turn since January 20th, when he talked about unity and bringing this country together, that in every way he always talks about race or gender, and he categorizes everything, and it's tearing apart this country, not unifying it.
Yeah, it's an obsession with this administration, and this is an abhorrent policy. I mean, look how far we have come away from what Martin Luther King wanted, which was a colorblind society, to now we want to see color in every single aspect of life from the Democrat Party. It's truly unbelievable. And by the way, they say in this bill that, or in this policy, that economically disadvantaged it says $750,000 net worth or less, and I believe it's $300,000 of income or less. Those don't sound like economically disadvantaged people to me. I mean, if you have a $700,000 net worth, you're considered economically disadvantaged. In the Democrat Party, normally you're considered rich. You're in the top 1%. So, again, confusing message, doesn't make any sense, and certainly discriminatory, and I assume will be challenged in court, and they should lose.
Yeah. Ted, what do you think?
Well, I agree that it's abhorrent. The fact that we're even having this discussion is abhorrent. You look at this administration and everything that they've done to divide this country, they are just continuing to do so. And I guarantee you, these male-owned businesses that are not able to apply for these loans, they have wives and they have families, and those wives and families are being hurt just as much as anybody else is. And like you said, Heather, there's all these employees, red and yellow, black and white, that work in these restaurants. Now they're going to be out of a job. I think it's probably being directed towards communities where these mayors, like in New York and in Michigan and in other parts of the country, they have closed down the businesses while other states have been opening up. I think they're probably directing those monies in those areas for a reason as well.
Yeah, well, it's not unifying this country, that's for sure. Thanks, everyone. Stand by, though, because coming up, we're going to talk about this. Joints for jabs. Krispy Kreme for your vaccine. Well, the sometimes wild incentives and links that some places are going to in order to entice you to get vaccinated. We'll talk about that up next on American Agenda.